Yo, yo, yo. What up, what up, what up? My bet and family. We back with another video here at No Limit Bets. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing y'all my top 4 picks for tonight's NBA playoff games. Before we get started though, if you're new to the channel and would like to join the No Limit Bets family, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and we're less than 850 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. Also, it's Friday, and PrizePicks usually has a promotion going on, whether it's a protected flex play up to $20, where if you lose that slip, you get your $20 back in promo funds, or they have boosted payouts. Whichever one it is, I will be taking advantage of that. Later throughout the day, I will be submitting a slip in my Twitter account. The link to my Twitter is down in the description, to just be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. Before I get to my top 4 picks, I did just want to do a quick recap of yesterday's horrible day. As you guys could see, we went 0-4. We weren't able to green any of our picks that we posted on yesterday's video. Honestly, man, at least for me, man, yesterday was, I mean, I couldn't predict what happened yesterday in both of those games. I mean, starting it off with the Philly and Boston game, with Jaylen Brown not being able to hit his points. We took his over 24.5 points. He only ends up with 17. He didn't take a shot all fourth quarter, didn't score a single point all in the fourth quarter. And it was unpredictable. I mean, Marcus Smart was their leading scorer at 22 points per game. Jaylen Brown nor Jason Tatum had it going. And obviously, I would have thought that at least one of those two main guys for the Celtics would have to, had a big game in order to win last night. But obviously that wasn't the case, as to, how unpredictable it was, at least for me. And I misread those plays. Obviously, James Harden wasn't able to get it done either. He only ends up with 22 points and assists. And moving forward to that Phoenix and Nuggets game, obviously it turned into a blowout. The Nuggets were able to win that series 4-2, winning by 25 points in Phoenix. That's back-to-back years Phoenix has been knocked out the playoffs in blowout fashion, which is truly disappointing. KD didn't have a great game. I believe he only scored like 23, 24 points. But the Phoenix leading scorer was Cam Payne. Now Cameron Payne, now he's all right. He's a good player. Obviously, he's an NBA player. But if he's your leading scorer when you have KD and Booker, there's something going on. I mean, obviously they didn't have a good game plan. They didn't have a good game overall. And then Jokic, he ended up with a triple-double. He had a monster game, but rebounding-wise, he wasn't able to get it done, as he only ended with 10. So all in all, at least for me, it was the way that those games turned out was pretty unpredictable. But it is what it is. It is the playoffs, and, anything can happen, So we definitely look to bounce back here tonight. So let's go ahead and hop into my top 4 picks. Now, for my first 2 picks, I'm going to be going to the first game on the slate. We have the Knicks going up against the Heat. Game 6 of that series. The Heat looking out to close out the Knicks. And obviously the Knicks are trying to keep their season alive and force a Game 7. So for my first pick, I'm going to be starting off with the Knicks side of things. I'm going to go to the rebounds and assists category, and I'm going to be taking Julius Randle over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Now, this series so far, he is averaging 14.5 rebounds and assists, which is, above this line is 12.5. Also, in 8 games versus the Heat throughout this whole season, that includes obviously regular season and the games played so far in this series, he's averaging also above this line at 13.4 rebounds and assists. So he has been able to, go above this line more times than not against the Heat, who obviously are don't have a lot of size up front. Obviously, Bam has been doing a great job defensively against Julius, as to why I really don't trust his points. Also, he's just been truly inconsistent throughout this playoffs and throughout his career in the playoffs. So his points, I'm not really trusting. His rebounds, I could trust. He's their main defensive rebounding guy. And the assists, I'm pretty sure he could get a couple of assists, as he's been a good passer here so far in these playoffs. Now, also for the season, Miami did allow the 11th most rebounds per game and the second most assists per game to opposing power forwards. So I think he should obviously have a good chance of hitting this. So I'm going to be rocking with Julius Randle over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Now for my second pick, I'm going to go to the Heat side of things. I'm going to be running a playback. I did think playoff Jimmy was going to be in full effect in Game 5. Obviously, that wasn't the case. He only scored 19 points. He became more of a facilitator in that game. But here in Game 6, another closeout opportunity. I do expect Jimmy Butler, or playoff Jimmy, should I say, to definitely be in full effect. I know the Heat do not want to go back to New York for Game 7, so they're going to try their best to close it out. And I think Jimmy Butler is going to, put up his A effort to be able to get that done. So I know throughout this series, he is averaging just below this number. He hasn't hit this number throughout the series in 4 games out of the 5 he has played. As you guys could see, Game 1, he finished with 25. He missed Game 2. Game 3 and Game 4, he had 28 and 27. In their last game, in Game 5, he had only 19 points. Now, also, usually throughout his playoff career, once Jimmy has a bad game or a subpar game like he had in Game 5, he usually follows that up with a monster game, as to why I'm picking him to get at least 29 points for us here tonight. So I believe Jimmy Butler is going to be in full effect. Playoff Jimmy is going to be in full effect and looking to close out the Knicks. As I say, the Heat do not want to go back to New York for that Game 7. I think Jimmy is going to do everything in his powers to not let that happen, and for the Heat to close out the Knicks here tonight. So I'm going to be rocking with Jimmy Butler over 28.5 points for my second pick. Now for my third and fourth pick, we're going to be going to another Game 6 going on tonight. We got the Warriors going up against the Lakers. Obviously, the Lakers are looking to close the Warriors out here in Game 6 tonight. And the Warriors are looking to, win another one to keep their season alive and force a Game 7. So to start us off with that one, I'm going to be starting it off on a points and assists category. And I'm going to be taking an under on LeBron James, 32.5 points and assists. Now, with this line right here, LeBron has only gone over this line in 1 game so far in these playoffs. That's 1 out of 11 games he's gone over this, and that was in Game 4 of this series, where he barely just made it over, and then with 33. So I do expect him to obviously follow the under trend with this line right here. As for this series, he's only averaging 28.4 points and assists, and throughout these playoffs this year, he's only averaging 27.8 points and assists. As I mentioned in previous videos, the Lakers now have, different ball handlers different players that could bring up the ball. Obviously, they have D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench. So they have multiple guys that can handle the ball, and that leads LeBron to be off the ball, more times than he's used to. Obviously, throughout his career, he's been on the ball pretty much every possession, but in these playoffs, that hasn't been the case. So I'm going to be taking his under on 32.5 points and assists for my third pick. Now, for my fourth and last pick, I'm just going to be following not so much a trend, but just, what history has shown us in Game 6s with this guy. I'm going to be taking Klay Thompson over 22 points. Game 6 Klay, I believe, is a real thing. As in 8 game sixes since 2016. Clay has averaged 26.1 points per game on 52% shooting from the 3-point line. So I know he's been struggling throughout this series, especially these last couple of games where game 5 and 4, he's been barely able to, manage to get to double digits points. But I do expect a big game here tonight. Obviously, they're going to need it if they do expect to win tonight and force a game 7. And like I said, I believe game 6 Clay is a real thing. I think he gets out of his slump here, at least for tonight, and gets us at least 23 points to be able to force that game 7. So I'm going to be rocking with Klay Thompson over 22 points. And that's going to be it for my top 4 picks, y'all. Again, I am going to be submitting under the STIP, taking advantage of whatever promo PrizePicks has today. As I mentioned, they usually either have protected flex play up to $20, or they have boosted payouts. So just be on the lookout on my Twitter for that slip to be submitted throughout the day. The link to my Twitter is down in the description. But just to recap the top 4 picks, we're going to be taking the over on Julius Randle's 12.5 rebounds and assists, the over on Jimmy Butler's 28.5 points, the under on LeBron's 32.5 points and assist line, and the over on Klay Thompson's 22 points. And as always, here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So I'm going to be placing a $5 entry for the possibility of winning $50. And as always, if you agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight. And I don't believe there's no games tomorrow, so we'll be back here Sunday. Let's get this money.